You have 60 minutes to finish this podcast. And welcome to I Need a Hobby, a podcast. I'm this week's host, Andrew. And to my right, he fell down a trap door within the first minute, and we did not see him till the very end. Chris.
Hey.
Glad you could have returned. That would have been this real scary otherwise.
It's still falling.
Never seen it again.
And I gotta mute my computer. And to my left, his regular satanic rituals were a huge help in this escape room. Alex.
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
It's going all right.
Yeah, doing all right.
Good.
For listeners at home, they should be at the very start of this podcast. They should be in the escape room. Timer has just started.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not,
So this is going to be a good work for we're going to be dishing out, clues throughout this podcast for the escape room you're doing. So hopefully your headphones are in.
Yeah, I'd say
the
if you're
escape
not,
room.
if you're outside, maybe go to a room, find any room really.
The goal
lock
it's
yourself
a
in.
one size fits all walk through step by step guide.
Yeah.
To
If you don't have any,
escape
like-
room.
Call up your crazy neighbor down the street, ask if he could lock you in his basement.
Yeah.
We'll tell you how to get out.
And I'd say
put this podcast
if
on,
there
tell me
are
escape.
handcuffs, that would be good. If there are, just maybe a ghost who could be involved.
Yeah.
that help.
Mhm.
Try to conjure the local demon.
I'd say the spookier the better.
Yep,
All
for
right,
sure.
so I guess we'll start now.
Okay.
And
All right.
Begin.
All
Clue
right.
number one.
So yes, we did do an escape room this week, but
we have
Whoa, let's take
more-
it back.
I know,
we have
I know.
more pressing issues.
as the listeners know, we're doing the Amherst
Well,
Summit.
let's take it 2 steps back and tell them what this podcast is all about.
Oh, further back.
we got
Yeah.
such important things to talk about. We can't even.
All right.
We can't even stick to the format of the
That's
episode.
true. That's true. So, what's this podcast about, right? Normally, me, Chris, and Alex, 3 young guys, work hard during the 9 to 5, try to make the most of the 5 to 9, and we're always doing a challenge, a hobby, or an activity. Okay,
Triple threat, baby.
this week we
big
clearly
three.
did an escape room, which is the natural sequel to our, well, maybe not natural sequel, but we kind of
Maybe a
forced it
spin-off.
that
I
way.
would argue it's more of a prequel.
Yeah, prequel to our
to Bodeborg.
Bodeborg episode, which is episode 42. So you can check that out if you're really interested in this kind of topic. But this time we went full on escape room.
Mm-hmm.
However, before we get
Yeah,
going,
we have some pressing issues
Yeah,
to talk
jeez.
about.
we have more pressing issues about the Amherst Summit. This great weekend that we
Yeah.
get to have a couple
Every now-
times a
every
year.
now and
Every
then.
now and then.
We're busy in the 9 to 5. We
Mhm.
talk about this all the time.
Mhm.
We like to take a weekend, get away from it all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Locked
And
ourselves in our own type of escape room.
Basically, yeah. Can't
And
escape until you record
record some
100 episodes.
podcasts, come up with some ideas.
Yeah. So,
So we're in Amherst this weekend. And
yeah. Go ahead.
I would say if we're going to talk about last night, we had one of the most, I don't know, it was easily more thrilling than the escape room. One of the most thrilling things that's happened
Yeah.
in a long
We
time.
had a lot
I
of
mean,
fun.
Fists were almost thrown.
Fists were almost
Yeah.
thrown.
Cuss words left and right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm getting shoved from the front, from the back. I'm like a sandwich
to
with
side.
people.
Yeah. So we had a pretty normal night for the most part. We went to a bar.
That's normal to you.
For the most part, I
We
said.
went to a bar. We
went to a
played
bar,
some pool.
Played some billiards. That was fun. We
Yeah.
will say we did
Drank some drinks.
we did a podcasters versus listeners. Who was anyone
Yeah.
at the bar? They were
Yeah.
kind of local celebrities.
Next victims.
Yeah, and,
listen to our podcast. Please.
Absolutely dominated. So
Yeah.
we will say that if anyone wants a challenge,
Yeah, we
take
did
on the
well.
podcasters in
Cool.
billiards.
Inspired. Maybe a
do think
billiards
that we
episode
could
on the way.
destroy everyone. So
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
would
But
be fun.
After that,
But after that was the regular. That was the
We're
regular
thinking-
night. Nothing too crazy.
we're thinking what pairs well with billiards, especially a billiards victory. Slice of pizza pie.
That's right.
Pizza
That's
pie.
right.
Anyone who's from around here, if you don't know, there's a place, Antonio's.
Very classic.
So Andrew went to school here. I would come and visit all the time, and that was
Mhm.
kind of always a little treat,
And you especially, Chris. I feel like every time
Big fan.
you're secretly like, hey, not even secretly,
No,
but
very outwardly.
hey, let's get Antonio's.
See,
All right, cool, let's do it.
I really like the area Andrew comes in. I think it's because I come 2 or 3 times a year.
yeah.
I have my thing to look for. I go there. We went to this nice little bagel coffee place.
Yeah,
this
we always
morning.
go there.
Love
We always
going
go
there.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I feel like a local. at
That's
this
true.
point.
That's true.
See, the folks at home are wondering right now. Listen, I heard the end of the story.
Yeah.
Fists thrown.
Fists around.
Human sandwich.
I don't want to hear about
human
your brunch.
sandwich. Alex is the meat.
Yeah.
But Chris is talking about the local coffee shop.
I'm
This is-
just yeah.
Could this be where
We're
the
setting the
mayhem
scene.
took
We're setting the
place?
scene.
setting the scene.
So-
Just like a good escape room. They set the background.
Yeah,
and
they
then
do.
Get
They
you
do.
into
They give you a
it.
little story.
Yeah.
So basically, we get to the pizza place.
So
We
the
leave
thing with this
bar.
pizza place, as you guys were kind of saying, it's very popular. Like
Mhm.
It's great. Yeah.
it's
And like
Highly
we
rated.
will say, we always mention at the beginning, we are young guys, right? We're working the 9 to 5. We're trying to make those the 5 to 9. However, we always mention this one little part that I might not even said: college grads. Okay, we are
Yeah.
college grads at
True.
this point. We don't really have time for
this
any
isn't
kind
our
of
scene. This is not our
weird kind of drunk college kid stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Personally, I didn't
I'm
even
not
like
trying
it
to get
as
on-
as an undergrad. This place especially is known for like the most drunk people who are
Yeah.
barely
Yeah.
standing,
Zoom
just
ass,
like
baby, zoom ass.
need a pizza.
Yeah.
and
See,
it-
and we're,
it's
you
a
know,
little strange.
You know,
we'll say.
we'd gotten into our libations that night, as
Yeah.
some people are saying, but we
Mhm.
were, you know, we're
we're college
ready,
grads.
ready
We're
to call it a
responsible.
night. We're responsible. We're
Yeah.
calling an Uber.
just gonna get some food and then
So
Um,
either
head
way,
out.
so Chris throws up and he says, "How do I need to get myself a slice?"
I'm passed out on the side
Yeah,
of the
cuts
road.
everyone immediately.
Well, yeah. So that's
Well, also
that's
another-
what they were getting to.
yeah.
So I'd say also very.
But
it's
it
a-
wasn't Chris doing the.
We were
cutting.
literally in the midst of a blizzard, seemingly.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
it was
not a
snowing
blizzard.
Not a
blizzard.
It was snowing very hard. The roads were bad. So
Yeah.
like,
It
part
was-
of the reason we went, and I think a lot of people went, was because it was hard to get a ride. Like,
Exactly.
We
yeah.
originally tried to call
Yeah,
something.
it's true.
It took 20 minutes. So we
Yeah.
were like, we'll just
We'll just
wait
get
it
pizza
out.
and wait it
Yeah.
out.
We'll just almost die.
So we get into this line, and this line is literally out the door.
It's packed. The restaurant is packed,
Uh-huh.
and there are people almost 3 wide. The line is
Yeah.
that,
And
that-
the
that's
door
the girth
is
of the line.
the
coming
door
out
is
of
really 1 wide. You know?
Oh
It's-
yeah,
Yeah.
if that.
yeah.
So we'll start with
So-
let's
so
start with the beginning.
As
part.
a normal person, we're just in line.
waiting in line, nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
a
if
little
you
small
ask
talk.
me, it's almost an unspoken rule, or at least unwritten rule. When you approach a line and you want what's at the front, you start at the back.
Sure.
Now, some could say,
You must queue.
"Oh wow, that thing what I want is way up there. I've got to go way up there." But no, you start at the back. You don't even start halfway up the middle.
No.
You start at the
Start
back.
at the back.
It maybe makes sense in like the most basic like cavemen. Oh, like I need food.
Right,
But
right.
we are civilized enough to know that how
And
lines.
So-
like, I don't know. It's like it has never crossed my
Yeah.
mind when I see
Right.
something I want to be like, I have to cut these
Exactly,
people.
like-
it's never once crossed my mind. So what am I doing wrong in my life?
Yeah.
That I am I a beta?
It's
Yeah,
more like
toughen
this.
up.
It's more like this. Like we chose to be.
Because this got pretty bad.
Yeah, I'd say we chose to be smartasses because
Yeah.
we were following the rules. So any person trying to cut us or do anything,
I
we
don't
were
know.
kind of rude towards. I
I
would
would
say because
argue-
they were being much worse.
So essentially,
I
yeah,
would
so we're in-
argue we maybe were being smart asses at times, but it didn't come from like, oh, I'm going to be a smart ass. It came from
yeah,
at least
get
from
to the
me
back of
was
the
like,
line. Yeah,
this isn't fair. Like, don't
Exactly,
do this. And
exactly.
someone has
Yeah.
to say
Yeah.
something.
I don't think we were being rude. I think.
right.
You're the beta.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, what happened was we're in this line and people are cutting us.
Well,
and
well, let's talk about the first 2 guys first.
Yeah.
Is that we get in a line where we see like these 2 other guys. They are very drunk.
and very big. Like
No.
our friends.
The
Gotcha,
friends,
The
gotcha.
fellow betas.
Gotcha.
They're just goofing around
Yeah.
like us. They just want
We're
their
all
pizza.
having a good
We're
time.
we're just joking around. We are all waiting in line
They're very
together.
drunk, but they're not like sloppy. They're just like
Yeah, they're
clearly.
very drunk, but
Yeah,
not
having a
right.
good
They're not
time.
like
Having fun.
they're happy.
Talking to
They're
us, yeah.
happy, and basically this huge guy.
He
like,
must have been 6'3",
6'3",
6'4",
like big
I
guy.
think someone cut before him.
Oh really?
potentially.
Was it
I
the
think
girl or no?
someone
No,
cut
she was after.
first, and we said, "No, you got to get to the back." It was the person who was right behind us.
That's right. That's right.
And
I remember
like that kind of riled us up
Yeah.
because we were like, "You got to get to the back. There's no cuts,
And she did.
no
She
butts,
did. Yeah.
baby."
Yeah.
And she got to the back.
So that was like a camaraderie building moment.
Yeah.
like
for
in
you
our
guys.
brains, it was like, "All right, we could do this. We're
Yeah.
all together."
Yeah. So then a huge guy tries to do it.
Yeah.
Like
and
football player,
Yeah.
probably very strong.
tries to cut, and one of the guys, one of our boys there, basically says like the same
No
thing that we were
cuts.
doing. No cuts. No cuts.
And now it's a bit much
started doing
different to
that
say it
thing
to
that
a
was like-
girl
that was
who's
like-
short, or to,
Yeah.
you gotta have some confidence to say someone that big.
Yeah,
who's
so-
with his posse.
Like we were just kind of like we would fight another day. We didn't really
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to.
I don't even
yell
think
at
if
this
I don't
guy.
even know if I spoke
And this
up
dude
at that
kept
point.
doing this thing too, where he would like lean back into the person, which really
Yeah,
pissed them
yeah.
off, which was
Yeah.
wicked funny. And then that guy got literally fuming.
but the guy in
Yeah,
the
he was
line-
like, "What?" And we're like, "There's a line."
I think
There's
it's
a
important to be
line."
stated the guy who was saying "don't cut" wasn't trying to like.
He wasn't trying to fight.
He wasn't trying to be aggressive.
Or
towards
that
the
too,
guy.
yeah.
He was just saying like, "Dude, don't cut." Like it wasn't
common
like
courtesy,
let's
right.
fight because you're cutting,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
some guys would do. It was don't cut,
Yeah.
just in an excited, drunk way,
yeah, exactly.
which
So
is important. for what's going on.
Then the guy basically gets in his face. The big dude gets in our well, I guess we'll call him
All
our
of
friend
our-
for the
yeah,
sake of the
yeah.
story. Gets in our friend's face and says like, "You need to like blah blah blah." They just start going at it.
And then he's got a group of friends there, so now it's like it's borderline
It's
gonna
a
be a
posse,
brawl.
It could be a
in
brawl,
second.
yeah. And it's funny.
And it's
'cause-
funny because all we're saying, and I mean, it's mostly him and his friend at this
Yeah.
point, but all we're saying is like, wait in the line, wait in
Yeah,
the line.
yeah.
We're not saying like you're an idiot. We're just
And our friend, like, he must have had that insane liquid confidence because he was like not phased
I was
at
loving
all
it. It was
that this
great.
dude
Yeah.
was thinking about punching him in the face.
Yeah.
He didn't care at all. And then
because he was standing with like he wasn't backing down.
no,
at
he
all.
didn't
Yeah.
care. It's just like get to the back of the
Yeah.
line. And then the the dude's friends like grab the big guy and just the classic like basically if you ever have to say this to
It's
a
not
friend,
worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not worth it. He's not worth it. Like you've already messed up.
Yeah,
You've already
that's-
gone too far to associate with
Yeah.
someone who is going to like explode. Like he's not worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, like
That-
what
that's
do you
a problem.
think? What do you
That's a
think
problem.
he's
At
gonna
that point,
do?
I was-
Kill him over one slice? Like, yeah, that's not worth it.
I was
Like,
I was chiming in
why
just
would
say
that
like
ever
I was
be
just
worth
like
it?
it's pizza. It's pizza.
Yeah,
I just
like
yeah.
we just want the pizza, and then so they get the big guy out, and then the guy's friend who is
So we're like kind of excited at that point.
yeah, like we're like, oh, you did it, you did it, you know?
Victory.
And then the dude's friend, the big guy's friend, pushes our friend, literally gives him a shove and says, "It's your lucky day, bro." To which
sounded like a scene
Yeah.
out of a bad
yeah,
high
like
school
to which
movie.
the kid
Seriously.
responded
Hey,
like
it's your lucky day, punk.
This is like Ridgemont High or something.
yeah, like that kid's response was pretty great. It
Dusted
was
off
just
his
like
Letterman jacket. It was like, it's your lucky day, punk.
he was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get the pizza. I'm gonna wait in line like,
yeah,
like the
like
rest
it means
of them.
nothing. He
Like-
could have
Yeah.
fought back if he was like a jerk like
Yeah,
them.
like
But he was like,
it
"Alright."
was just like insane. Like, what kind of morals do you have to like cut someone in line?
In front of 100 people.
Get mad
probably.
when they say don't cut. Then when
Try to fight.
when your friend is saying he's not worth it, as in like, you know, this guy's telling you to follow the rules. It's not worth getting mad over that.
He's killed
you know?
for much less.
You know, it's like, what is going on?
That's
guys?
like that guy was
I'm
like,
sorry.
we did a favor for you by cutting you,
Yeah.
almost fighting you, and then letting you go.
Literally
Like,
that exactly.
What?
And
Yeah.
let's
Where's
get on
the
with the
logic
episode
there?
here. But there's more to the story where we
it
just
kept on
kind of
going. More people were cutting.
more people tried to cut. We had good camaraderie.
Some successfully.
A good end part is that I actually saw like an old friend that I hadn't seen in a while, so I got separated from.
You didn't even end up
two.
getting any pizza.
I didn't even want the pizza, but that was funny because I didn't even want the
Sold
pizza.
out
so
by the time we got to the front.
I ended up meeting up with you guys and our new friends again,
Yeah.
and then that
Yeah.
first guy was like, "Oh, you had to leave the line, so you didn't get any pizza." And I was like, "Nah, bro, I didn't want any in the first place." He was like, "Dude, like we had some great times back there. Like I'll give you some bites of my pizza." And then I just kept messing with him. I was like, "All right, how many slices are you ordering?" And he was like 2, and I was like, "All right, yeah, how about just like a slice and a half or something?" But he's like too drunk to understand that I'm joking, so he's like, "Nah, bro." I was like, "Okay, one slice." He's
Another
like,
great
"No,
part
no, no."
was so I'm with my new friend and we're talking and Andrew comes back into line like
Oh, yeah, that
clearly
was
doesn't
funny.
want pizza and I just say like, "Whoa, who's this guy?"
Chris
Joking.
tried, like a little fake
Just
fight.
messing around,
Yeah.
and then my friend's like, "Nah, man, he was with us from the start. Like, he was
Yeah,
totally,
he was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
offending me. He doesn't realize that we have a podcast.
we had
obviously.
this older guy with us. He was probably 40s, 50s.
He wasn't
and-
with us. He was in line.
Well,
with us.
at this point, he was with us.
yeah, that's fine. But it wasn't
yeah,
anyone
no,
we
yeah,
knew.
you're right. But at this point, we called ourselves Ocean 7. We're
Yeah,
just
it was
a,
nice.
just a posse.
It was great because by the time we got to the front, like
Yeah.
no one was cutting because we were so far deep in the line.
Yeah.
So we were just standing there. We would look at the pizza and be like, "Yeah, let's go."
Me and
like,
Alex,
rile each
had
other
some great jokes at the end too.
Yeah,
where
Chris,
we're just
Chris
like,
was like, "Yeah, I'm just all the sample." Not here for
was
the pizza
funny.
at all.
no one.
Yeah,
that.
like after all that.
Yeah.
But it was really nice when,
And hey,
when
the
I got
pizza,
separated
amazing.
from you guys and I looked towards you guys at the front and you guys are just talking with our new friends, just laughing your asses off. I was like, this is
Yeah,
great.
I'll be
great
honest.
times.
Like my voice this morning was a little bit
Yeah.
hoarse
Yeah,
when I woke up, just
same.
from the
being rowdy.
honestly, just from laughing.
And,
Yeah.
and you know what's crazy is that guy that I was talking to, he like forced me to eat some of his pizza. And I didn't want it. I was like,
He basically
"Rodney,
put
like,
it in your mouth,
I don't
yeah.
want. I was like 1 bite at most, and he was like 3 bites, bro, 3 bites. I was like, okay, so very strange, but
Yeah,
you know,
good-
we all ended up happy.
good
Yeah,
night.
that was great.
No
and
one
we,
got in a
and
fight?
we made it home alive, even in the snow.
Like,
Yeah.
it makes me wonder if those people that successfully cut the line,
Mm.
like we held our own, didn't
Mhm,
let people
mhm.
cut. We had a fantastic time, great laughs because of it.
Yeah.
Was it worth it for them? They didn't laugh.
Yeah.
They're grumpy people
Right.
cutting the line.
Well, it's like that classic
Come
thing.
on,
Like
are
I don't
they
know. It
happy?
must be like some.
What's wrong?
I don't want to get into it too much, but it must be some kind of like way you were raised or
Yeah,
something.
Like you're born
Like
to think
pe-
you
like,
deserve
exactly.
it. You know?
Like to think that like
And I don't.
you deserve to cut
A line-
everyone, like Chris saying like a
Yeah.
girl who tried to get a guy that she was Snapchatting to pay for her Uber, like
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
It's like,
you could just tell us that
come
kind
on,
of person.
dog.
she
you know?
did cut. She successfully
that.
cut a
Don't
lot.
do
that.
Oh, and she was the one who was like,
Yeah.
"Do you know who I am? I know. Do you
Yeah,
know who I know
people.
here?
I
like,
know who I know
it's
here.
a gross
a
pizza,
pizza
place.
spot.
Like,
I asked
that's
her-
embarrassing. To
I asked
say
her if
that.
she was an Alpha Kappa pizza. She didn't let no one.
Bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. When we the very back of the line, before we even got in,
Yeah.
that girl before she successfully cut, because we were like in the door, so it was really hard to cut.
Yeah.
She was like, "What frat are you in, bro?" To me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
me too.
And like
I have
right,
a podcast, girl. I'm not in a frat.
and, like another thing is
What
like,
do you think I'm
hearing
doing?
that even
And
as
I
an
wasn't
undergrad
even, like,
was so
acting like a
annoying.
jerk.
Like talking any kind of frat talk was really annoying.
Especially
I think, as
now.
an undergrad.
I've been
and
graduating for a while.
as adults now, it's
embarrassing.
like,
As a grown-up.
yeah, let's get over that. But
Yeah.
you
Like,
know,
what
we're obviously
The best
yeah.
was Alex told her, he's like, my daughter's in there and I'm not kidding. And she was like, you don't have a kid. I'm like, that's messed up.
How do you know?
all right. Enough
Here you go,
pizza
Sally.
talk.
Go get some pizza. One of the worst spots for a little kid ever. All right, let's get
All
over.
right,
Let's
let's
get
get
on
into
with
the
this.
real deal.
You know, we're already
Escape room
strapping these
talk,
listeners.
baby.
They've been locked in the basement for 15 minutes. We've given them
Sorry.
no advice.
They're so
Sorry.
hungry.
They cannot. They
bound
cannot
and
appreciate
gagged.
this story
Let's let
because
them out,
they
yeah.
really need to get out. So
They are
let's talk
laughing.
about this.
but-
Escape room is like a little
Yeah.
bit of an activity, I would
Yeah.
say. So we'll
It's
go over
fun.
our specific escape
Yeah.
room.
So I'll go over. We basically there's an escape room. It is in East Hampton, Massachusetts. It is a very popular one. It's called Puzzled Escape Games. It's probably the best of the area of Western Mass. So I don't know how good it is in the grand scheme of things, but it was good.
I liked it a
And
lot.
so we did this one. It was called the Professor of the Occult,
Mm-hmm.
I believe is how you pronounce it. And basically, we don't want to do this podcast. We don't want to give spoilers, I guess, but however, we'd have to like tiptoe around everything if we don't.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if
And
you're
it would
dying
be
to
too
do
confusing.
if you're dying to do an escape room and you live in Western Mass and want to do this one, pause the
Yeah, a
episode.
very
Yeah.
small
We're not
person,
going to
like-
give you a step-by-step process on how to do it, but
But
I
we
think
will
probably
give
some things away.
spoilers just
Yeah.
because it'll be
Yeah.
easier for us to talk about it like that. However, this Puzzle Escape Games has another room that we did not do, and obviously we'll not give spoilers for, and they're making a third. So
Yeah.
you know, even if you don't do this one, there's many other options.
Mm-hmm.
This one on the website, the difficulty rating was 7 out of 10, and the next one, which I don't know, maybe not future episode, but maybe a future
activity.
event. I'm
Yeah.
hoping
Yeah.
is a 9 out of 10. So we do want to try
I
that
know, I
one
wonder how
another
that
time.
one-
So
see,
that
I-
one was called like Escape from Escobar, I think, which we did not do. We did the Professor of
Escobar?
the Occult. Yeah,
Escobar?
yeah. No,
You mean
Azkaban.
oh Azkaban.
Wait, no.
No,
Or-
Escobar. Pablo Escobar.
Wait, do you mean
I
Escobar?
think I mean Ecuador. I don't know.
Okay.
No.
Alcatraz.
The equator.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it actually called? Was it
Escobar. Yeah, I'm not messing.
What
with
does
you.
that mean?
Arkansas.
I think Mr. Escobar has
Mr.
Yes,
Escobar.
Yes. No, I think Mr. Escobar has you trapped and handcuffed. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I knew the handcuffs were involved in that,
Yeah.
which I said from the get-go, like, I don't think I would like
yeah.
that.
I don't
actually-
like anything.
I
Yeah, I,
don't
kept
like
on asking,
the-
like, is this going to be spooky?
Yeah,
I don't
were
like
getting-
the
I think I
idea
would
of,
say
like-
Alex was getting a little scared. I would
Not
say.
scared. I
I'd
wasn't
say a little
scared,
scared.
bro.
I'd say,
Bro, I wasn't scared.
You tried to open the emergency.
Yo, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Clue, give me a clue. Well, I was fine with this one, but like
Yeah.
the idea of like being handcuffed and locked in a room,
I like
Yeah.
it. I like,
like
it.
just gives me enough anxiety to be like, oh god, this is gonna be uncomfortable.
Okay.
Not that I'm.
We did
scared
not
that-
get handcuffed. For
Not
this
that I'm
one.
scared that I won't get out, because I'm smart as freaking heck and I know I'll use my cunningness to get out.
Mhm.
But it's like this is going to be a very annoying hour if we can't work together.
That's
and get
true.
Out.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if we are stuck in
The one we
handcuffs.
had without, because we didn't use handcuffs, it was fine. Plenty of room in there,
Mhm,
plenty of
mhm.
space. Handcuffs would've been a
So
little much.
let's just say how we start. I guess do you guys have anything to say about the workers there?
Well, I was going to
Yes,
say I don't
well-
like how it's called Professor of the Occult, because like
It's a weird word.
just saying occult, like you have to. It's almost like doing a little.
Yeah,
like you're
it's
tripping on your words, just getting. Out
I
of
feel
it.
like
Just say like Professor of Conjuring or something, because it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
I feel like we spent a while in that intro, so I feel like we should just get into it. Basically,
Oh, I didn't
We'd
like
say-
the intro. Oh wait,
the intro
I
of our podcast.
I don't like you. No, I
Uh,
didn't like the workers.
Right,
intro.
so let's
Yeah.
we can just say it quick because we did have some beef with them, I guess.
Well, so
perhaps they
also-
were.
They tried to cut.
I'll set up. So you walk in, and the place there you sign up is a room that has also like board games.
It's
I
just
think
like
it's like
decoration.
yeah, and I think like
That
that,
looks
might
nice.
be
It seems
a
cool.
business in itself. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly,
Yeah.
but we get there, we sign up.
Mhm.
Then in comes the what did they call her? Like our
Like the puzzle master.
our
or
escape
something.
room master. It was
Yeah,
like something
something
like
like
that.
She had a cloak on. Not
She
really.
was
It was a little.
It
hokey.
reminded
was a
me
little
of
hokey.
remember
Yeah.
in Disney World when you guys went to that color thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah, the guy was just like chill with us, and then when he started, he like
that was
a flip
exactly
switch.
me and Polly.
that was
Yeah.
like her.
All right, welcome to the color world. And I
like
was
this girl
no.
was like, all right, I'm the puzzle master. Come on in. And so the professor of the occult has
Yeah.
been locked in a room. Like,
yeah,
whoa.
actually, we're like.
and then she was like, someone was messing with
yeah,
something on
our
the
friend
side.
Cedric. No,
and
our
she's-
friend Cedric was he was getting wild or something.
He's just
He
like
was,
excited.
And
he
she
was
was
really
like-
hyped up.
'Cause
for
we were
it,
all
and
just
she
like,
was
yeah, man.
So she was
settle
like,
down.
the professor, you should be paying attention. like,
And they kept on
Come
like,
on, chill.
I don't
Don't
know,
take
like,
yourself that seriously.
I was like reading the rules and like I don't. They were very big on the like you need to know these rules, and the rules were just like very common
Yeah,
sense.
it was like
And-
don't use brute force, which we did joke about a bunch. Like
Yeah, but it
we're
was
stuck.
good.
Time for the brute
They,
force.
they had a rule that was like, if you can't do it with 2 fingers, you should.
That-
it's
like,
not
that's a good
working.
rule. I
So
think
we're
that's
like,
where it's
put a 3rd finger in.
like I liked the rules that they had, but I
Yeah.
think
But
it
I
was,
think
it was
with-
way overdone. Like I know that you don't have to throw anything in it. You know what I mean?
Right. And
Yeah.
that girl taking it seriously, it's like, you have to pay attention. This is serious. Everything matters. By the time we got in, we'll get into later in the episode, but like they were pretty lax with everything.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
if you make up your mind, is it going to
Yeah.
be like strict rules? You have to do this, 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 or are you going to be chill about it? It was like conflicting.
All right, so let's talk about. I guess. Well, just to set the scene, we had a crew of 6 people. We rented a private room, which was nice.
So let's talk about Cedric.
Yeah,
He was I would say he was our team captain.
yeah. So it was my roommates, my podcaster, my co-host, and my friend Cedric, who is former coworker turned friend, and he is a escape room not enthusiast.
I mean, he
guess.
told me that he'd been to 5 or 6 escape rooms.
He's just like a generally like excitable
I,
guy.
I think
Yeah.
he's gonna be an escape room enthusiast.
He
'Cause
said-
he was
he
saying
said-
like,
he
I
did
want to
say
travel
that
the
he-
world and do this.
He did say he wanted to
Yeah.
travel the world and do escape rooms, which is pretty funny. But he's just like an excited guy. I'd
Yeah.
say it's
High-
very easy
high
to get
energy.
him.
he
to
was
get
having a
him
lot of
going.
fun.
Positive high energy. It was great.
So he
Big
had
fan
done
of
this
that.
escape room. I said a year and a half ago, but he was unable to complete it. So
The
there
same
wa-
one that we did,
The same one that
which
we
is
did.
important.
And he also forgot some of the stuff, which
Like,
is
that was-
fair. I mean, there's a lot of meticulous.
That's one
stuff,
thing I would
so-
say is like going to something like this. I mean, once you do it, like you know
Mm-hmm.
how to do it, so it's not that fun to do again. I would think, but I'd say if you're going with people, let them have fun. I think Cedric
Yeah.
did a good job.
and
of,
the fact that he didn't finish it the first
Yeah.
time. So it's
Yeah.
like another
he did a
chill.
good job of like there were certain things where he clearly knew it, but was trying to like.
But he was trying to
hint
like get
at
us to do it, and then
instead of just giving us the answer.
And
Some of them
also-
he just straight up did, which was
the demon
fine.
one.
yeah,
like, the
there's
thing-
one
That
part,
one, that one
yeah.
was wicked funny. So yeah, basically he said that like,
And that was like 5
and
minutes
he,
in.
He told me that he didn't remember like details, but he basically like the way he described it to me is like when he walked in, he had like this like PTSD flashback of like being unable to like get this one for so long. So
Yeah.
then he like immediately remembered how to do it, and it just could not be denied. It was just like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
'cause
we're
he
getting
can't-
this one right
Funny.
now because he didn't want to be frustrated with it again, which is
you
fine,
can't
know?
blame him for like what's he gonna do? Stand there and not do
Yeah,
anything?
yeah.
He has to help us out. It's just
And
it just
so
gives
basically
us
like
like an inauthentic.
we
not really
there's a
inauthentic
second
experience.
part of this escape room, and we basically thought like we had won very early
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
because there was
About
like
30
a
minutes
code word we had to get, and we got it in 22 minutes, so we had 38 minutes left, and only used one clue. And then, but Cedric had said that the last time he went in, he had only got to the second room with 8 minutes left. So
Right.
at that point, Cedric was able to be more
And the-
serious because he didn't know how to
And
do it,
Yeah.
which was
the
nice.
second room was tougher too. I would say.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So,
Maybe yeah. It was at least tougher for us.
yeah. So once the lady is done giving her spiel,
And I'd say so. She sets the scene. She gives us a little
little
bit
bit,
of
a
but
little bit.
nothing really that helped us in the room. I would say.
no,
No.
the conjure was important.
Yeah, it was like she gave us like one or two little tips.
Right.
Yeah.
but
What was
Yeah.
important?
Well, the conjure was
word,
important for the last
Well,
phrase.
yeah.
Oh, I see. I think
It was because it was like all he heard was the word conjure, and that's the one word you wouldn't be able to get.
Oh,
otherwise.
she said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I was gonna say I think. Okay.
well,
that
my
makes me
first-
feel better because I thought we like
we figured out conjure.
we guessed it and
No.
I felt like we should have done something else to find that out.
No,
Remember,
no.
like the other word was on the wall,
Right.
but we didn't see it.
Right, that's right.
That
Conjure,
one we
conjure
guessed.
is like the one. So it's basically like there were 5 missing words at a certain point.
Right.
All of them were like able to be gotten except for conjure because at the beginning of the intro she says the last thing the professor heard or
Dang,
the
now I
last
feel
thing
like
the
a
maid
fool.
heard was the professor saying conjure or something.
Well, let's back up. I think one thing that I think would have benefited this escape room and other ones was I was thinking back to Disney World. We'll bring it up again. Going on the Tower of Terror when you're in
Yeah,
that room.
exactly. Me too.
And they set up the scene for
Yeah,
the ride.
yeah.
That would have been amazing if you go into it like a sub room and there's a video that
Yeah.
explains this whole
Yeah,
thing.
it
That
would have
been
been way better.
So
You're
cool.
right.
I wouldn't be
you're right.
surprised if some of them.
I'm sure some of them do.
have just not this.
If
Yeah.
not, then maybe we should open this.
But so basically, as we get in, I'd say the lady gives her spiel.
Mm-hmm.
We walk in, and it's like pretty cool. Like so,
It's
it's
just
us
a room.
six.
It's,
It's
you
just
know?
a room. It's a private room, and
themed.
theme
Yeah.
for sure.
Like,
Like
it's
the scene
not-
is set.
Yeah.
There's a couple stuff like
Like
a
felt Disney World
desk,
esque.
a
globe,
end table, a globe, like really some small things.
bunch of
and
drawers.
Looks like a
Cedric-
normal
Cedric
room.
immediately
Walking in
is
looks like a normal themed
exactly like a theme room. Cedric immediately is like, all right, start like flipping stuff
He
over.
gives us-
like,
Tear this
let's
place
go.
up.
Cedric gave us a good tip that I would recommend to anyone doing one of these. Is get into partners. Like,
Yeah,
so there's
it was a
6
good
of us.
tip.
So we split into 3 groups of 2.
See, that-
and then, so you were working on your own things, but then you could kind of like merge as you went, you know?
Merge
so
with
like
the
as
partner.
we were
Yeah.
finishing certain things, we could all work on other things.
Yeah.
See, that gets tough because there was one like there was one thing at that table right to the left. Oh, like there was something in the second room that you needed for the table.
Yeah.
But since another group was working on that table, if
that's
I was working on the thing in the other room, it never would have connected. Like we wasted time connecting. So like splitting up was a good strategy.
But like sometimes
but you have to
needed
figure out how to
exactly.
combine so you could get
Exactly.
everything
But
still.
at least in the initial part, you knew very early on that it was basically like a 6-part phrase that we had to get.
Right.
So each part was its standalone thing, so you were able to split up there.
So more or less, there were 6 things we needed to solve to get into the
And
second room.
it was pretty cool because, like, I will say
6
that
like mini puzzles.
Like, I was pretty into this. I don't know how you guys felt, but like prior to going in, but I could tell my roommates because it was like $25 too, so I could tell they were a little apprehensive. Like, all right, let's see how this goes. But like, I'd say like within 5 minutes of getting in, like everyone was like into it, which was pretty cool. And it, like the aspect of a team goal, like, all right, here's how we're gonna do it. Like, here's the game plan.
Right.
Let's do this. Let's get
and
out.
I think you need to all be on board with it too.
I was gonna say,
I know
like, no
at
one
my
really laid back.
at my work, my work team did the Bodeborge one, which was a lot of fun, and we had a great team for it. Everyone was very into it.
Yeah.
But I've heard another team that I kind of worked with went, and they said, yeah, like they didn't finish. They didn't even come close. Like it seems like they just like weren't into it.
Yeah, like
You need to
really
go
have
in,
to get into it.
to get the full experience.
If you're not like gonna be excited to go,
But-
don't go.
No,
you
see,
know?
I would disagree with that because I don't think my roommates were like particularly excited,
that's
but
true.
like they were like down to do it as they got in.
I think
And-
if you're not down, like if someone's like dragging you there,
exactly,
yeah,
yeah,
I
like
guess.
At least have the
It was
mindset.
more like it was easy to get like. You didn't have to be excited
Yeah.
to do
No,
it, but
that's
it
true.
was so easy to get into it
Yeah.
because I think Cedric was a huge part of it, but I
Yeah.
think just having like people driving like, all right, let's do this. Like
Yeah,
it makes
I
you
know,
it makes
it's
you
weird.
want to like not let the team down, so you get like kind of into
but
it.
I could understand if someone was there and like wasn't into it.
It
and
was
they
like,
just did
whoa,
nothing.
so like everyone's
Especially
yelling.
with
I could
like
understand
we had
too,
6 people.
Yeah.
One more person, they would have easily been able to just like
That's true.
not participate.
I think
in any of the
6 was a
puzzles.
great number.
6
for
was
this room.
perfect.
'Cause there
I
was
think
even one
4
point-
and 5 would have been okay.
we
but
would have been
7 would have
tougher.
been too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
so it was really good. Like basically immediately as we get in, we start flipping stuff around and we start like finding stuff, which was really cool. Like being like, oh, I found this. I
Turn
found this.
over a table
Like,
and there's a like little note. And
yeah, it really felt like that everyone like you're right, 6 was the right number. Like everyone kind of like had their part. So like initially like my roommates like flipped over a rug and there was like a logic puzzle that
they spent
that
pretty much
had
the whole
to
time
do,
doing
that they
because it
spent
was
like a
very
long
difficult.
time doing it at the beginning because that was probably the hardest of the first things, but we were able to just like, all right, let's just trust these guys that these guys will get it.
And then like
They
me
were
and
able to get
Cedric
it.
found there was basically like another like word puzzle
word
thing,
map,
which
yeah.
ended up being like you had to like put things together. I won't give it too
That
much
was-
away,
that
but
was
that was
tough.
once we figured it out, it was
It was a really
so
good
great.
feeling.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
satisfying.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that first room was all like, all right, these are puzzles that we just have to like take the time to figure it out. Whereas the second room was these are puzzles that like we have to like actually like really think about how to crack
Exactly,
this code.
yeah.
I would say this escape room in particular did a great job of just like I think it was just very high quality. Like
Yeah, it was.
there was like tape recorders with messages that sounded like actually like
Yeah,
spooky
like
and
old,
old timey,
authentic.
and those things you
right.
have to use
It's
to
like
solve things.
it's like the classic thing. Like I don't know. Like sometimes if I'm watching a movie and I'm not super into it, and I get like a text message, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll respond. But normally I like to be like immersed
Like
in
lost
a
in it,
movie.
yeah.
But like I didn't have my
Yeah,
phone in there.
that's true,
Obviously, you
yeah.
can't. But like I never thought once like what's going on outside. It literally was
That's
like I
true.
was
That's a
lost
good
in
point.
like
Yeah.
the game. But it was also because I was like with you guys. I think.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say it
having a
helps
good
that
time.
we were all friends too.
Exactly.
Because, like,
Yeah.
we could kind of crack jokes at the same time.
Yeah,
as we
yeah,
did
yeah,
it. Like,
yeah,
it's-
yeah. But
it's fun.
I was a big fan of all the brute force jokes.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time we were stuck. Like,
and it's like I don't know, like I think
but yeah, pick up Alex and throw him. Like
'Cause
that's
you-
another rule. Don't pick up.
you
your
need to
friends.
know. I think it works best when you know the people well. Like when I went with my team, we're all like we're a pretty tight knit group,
Yeah.
so it was good. But I think if it was like a new team,
Well,
and I didn't
that's
know
what-
the people, and I didn't really know like how serious people.
That's
wanted
what
to be.
Cedric said actually, which was interesting.
Because he
is
said
that
he also went with, like,
he
a new- it was a
so
newer group
we
of
did like
people.
when it was like an after school program is where we worked, and when we were there, I guess they went to the escape room a year after I stopped working there, but we would do like team building stuff. We went to Sky Zone, we did bowling, so it was like early on so that you would get to know your team.
right.
The people you're working with, and I do think an escape room would be good for that. But Cedric said that it was like tough because
No one wants to be too much.
no one wants to be too
yeah.
into it. Like with us, we're so comfortable with each other that there was no kind of
it's
like
weird.
But I was using brute force,
suspension.
yeah.
But
yeah.
I would rather be too into it. Like I would rather like judge someone for being too into it than
Not
judge
into
someone
it.
for
Yeah,
being too
same.
into it. I would be. I'd rather
mean,
be the person being judged.
Yeah, like I have no shame at all because it's like I'm a competitive person. So as soon as I got in, I was like, let's go.
Well, the thing
I
is-
wouldn't have cared who I was with, really.
I talked to Chris about this beforehand. Not to you though,
yeah.
Yeah.
because when Boda board, you like
I got
you
too
turned into
good.
this new person.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, dang, this is gonna happen with the escape room.
Yeah.
It's gonna be annoying. And I was like, I might say something to Andrew before and like make sure it doesn't happen. But it didn't happen.
Yeah,
it was
good,
different.
good.
So I don't know what. I mean,
Um,
it's not you because you're an awful person.
yeah,
Anyways,
it's the
deep
same
down.
thing. I don't
No,
know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what it was. It was more like,
That's what I was worried about.
but
It
I
was
didn't.
pr-
I
it was-
didn't.
it-
I didn't put in like an effort to like be different. It was more that like I think that this was
Maybe it
a
was
better
might
environment
have
for
been
it.
the outcome, honestly.
No,
'Cause
no,
here's
no. It wasn't. The
one thing I
outcome.
would say about
I wouldn't have been mad.
So
if
the
we
difference
didn't get it.
between Bois de Bourges and this escape room, for if you don't know, is Bois de Bourges had a lot of mini escape rooms essentially, so like little
Yeah.
puzzles that took
Yeah.
like 3 minutes or so. This one was just one room for an hour.
And I think a big difference is Bois de Bourges, there's stuff you can't do.
Yeah.
Like you'll get kicked out if you do this.
oh,
Escape room,
gotcha,
there's
gotcha.
nothing like that. But
Yeah.
I think it would be
Like
a,
if you
good,
press
it
a
would be a fun
button and-
twist. Like, oh, if you accidentally do this or say this word or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
you got
That's
conjured
what we were
just like
talking about on
Professor
one
Black.
of the one that Cedric said it had frustrated him. You basically like there was like a marker on a mirror and there was an eraser and you had to like erase the marker because some of it didn't come off
Right.
and it spelled a
Spelled a
word.
word.
But Cedric said that like they thought about doing that the first time, but they were so scared
Yeah.
that it would erase it and be like, okay, and now we
There
have
it is,
no
that,
idea
yeah.
what that marking
Right.
was. So then it's like, so that so but there isn't that basically. Like you
The only
can
thing
do
that
anything to
almost
get it to
happened was
work.
the tape recorder stopped working at one point.
Yeah, but it
yeah.
wasn't plugged in.
But I almost think, it just wasn't plugged
Yeah.
in. I almost think if something like that happened, like I said earlier, they were kind of lax with like the rules. They were
Mhm.
clearly
Yeah.
watching us. I bet they would have piped in and been like,
You unplugged the thing.
oh, like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
what it was saying, or you
Yeah,
unplugged it, fix this.
Yeah. Because another
But
thing.
I don't know
so
if I like that. I
60
almost
minutes,
feel like they
we
were supposed
got
to do it.
3 hints, which
got 3 hints,
I think
yeah.
personally, I'm glad that that's the policy.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
3 is a good
perfect.
number too.
So the way it worked is you
Definitely helped us,
basically would
too.
ring a doorbell and there'd be a hint that would flash on the screen
Mm-hmm.
and it would say like you
Or
need to do this.
There was one that was verbal.
One
Yeah.
that was verbal because I think no one had ever got stuck at that part because it was so obvious
yeah.
and we were unable to
No,
figure
I
it
don't
out.
know.
But whatever. Anyway,
I know because I assume the way they were doing the hints is that they were watching us,
Yeah.
could see what we were
exactly.
doing right.
Yeah, exactly.
And they had
exactly.
preset hints,
'Cause
but it
even
was
the-
probably like
the-
ours was like we weren't getting a weird thing that they.
Yeah.
Like the last hint was not a hint; it was a
It was
straight up giveaway.
Because I think that's how they do it. Is they give a hint, and then if that hint
Yeah.
doesn't guide you, they basically.
So we
give
were
it
able.
away.
The first hint we were able to use and we successfully figured out with that hint, and then the second hint.
The next two we used on the
So
same
yeah.
one.
So basically, after we opened the first room, we said like a phrase. We opened the second room. And then that's when like all of us really were going for it because Cedric at that point hadn't made it that far.
And we were tighter on time. We were getting close. I mean,
Yeah,
we had
well,
plenty of
we
time.
did the first one in 22 minutes.
So we had a half
We
hour.
had,
But
there was a point where we had 15 minutes left. We had
Yeah.
one hint, and,
and
we
I
had
was
no
thinking
hope.
like, yeah, we were screwed. Like
And I was like,
we,
guys, we got to use this.
we
hint.
had 15 minutes left. We were working on the same stuff for like 10 minutes, and we
Mm-hmm.
were just like,
I actually want to talk.
I was thinking about like we're not gonna get it.
I want to explain the puzzle because that second hint I still don't understand.
Yeah,
I
me
want to hear if
neither,
either
me
you
neither.
guys do or if the listeners
Yeah.
could type in with some
okay,
information.
I didn't even. I barely even saw that.
So
letter.
what it was there's this piece of paper
Okay.
that we found, and it had talked about this guy who went missing and like what his traveling was, and the final word was what we used to like unlock something
Mhm.
else. So like we found out where he was traveling. It gave us
Yeah.
like kind of almost like longitude and latitude coordinates
Mhm.
somewhat.
Yeah.
But then the last one was like this random thing that we couldn't figure out. So
Yeah.
the hint was, find something that sounds like the underlying words.
Oh yeah, I think I looked. I didn't look it up. I wish I meant to. But so basically, what it found was that there was some sort of extension of the words like "Good Hope,"
Hope, good. We're both on
and I'm pretty sure in Australia there's like a port of Good Hope. That's like a thing.
because it said like go
Go
it said,
to-
like,
Go
find
to
a
the
location.
shipping.
the
The
shipping.
hint said go to the shipping routes, but how would we know shipping routes without the?
I didn't even know those
Yeah.
lines were shipping routes.
Me
I
neither,
thought they were
yeah.
like currents.
and
So
we're talking like on a globe.
basically,
Yeah.
what the hint
Yeah.
said was like it gave us a location and said it was that many miles away in this time zone, and like so
Mhm.
you could have gotten it, but like just the way it was set up, it was difficult.
Because even where the shipping route was, the answer ended up being Perth, and
Yeah.
that was the hint they gave us was literally the word Perth.
Because yeah,
The
they
first
gave
hint
us-
was
they gave us
connected.
they gave us the hint. We
we
couldn't
couldn't
get
get
it.
it.
Then we did the
Even
last
where it
clue.
connected, like it wasn't like very
Yeah.
obvious that it was saying Perth.
I'd say though, I'm glad that they like. I don't feel like we cheated it by doing that.
no, we got a. We got.
Well, we did.
It was
It
our
was just a
It was-
clue.
Well, yeah, and I think that if I had lost on that, I would have been frustrated because it was like,
Yeah.
it was one of those ones that's like not like I
Now-
left like
Yeah, like all right,
Now,
whatever.
The
yeah.
points where I felt like we did it right.
We
We
got
did
lucky.
nothing wrong, but almost like we didn't do it.
mhm.
I
There was
don't. I almost
definitely-
think we shouldn't have.
Got it right.
We shouldn't have been allowed to get out because we guessed. For example,
Well,
the word
no.
the
Yeah.
word light.
yeah.
I think that
We
was
didn't-
smart.
but we didn't do the puzzle to get it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I think it's like
we did a more harder version of the puzzle. So basically, what happened was there was a flashlight that was like a, I don't know, like a black light kind of,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
it if you shone it on the wall, it showed like a letter or a word that was not seen before, and we basically had to read this phrase, and
it rhymes.
we had all the words but one, and it rhymed. So
And it was-
And I was just
Chris
like,
the
oh,
one
it's
that figured
probably
It's like,
that.
It was
it's
obvious
probably-
that it was light.
It's probably light because it rhymes, and we're like, all right, let's give it a shot.
Because I feel like if it was a different script that we had to read and figure out and a different word, we wouldn't have gotten it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel like maybe we shouldn't have.
So we did get a little
Like, that
lucky
one
where
was
we
kind
kind
of-
of like
Or like if
guessed
it,
a
yeah,
word.
if it was like it didn't rhyme, or if it was like in like another language, something like
Yeah,
that, where
yeah, we
like
would've
it's not
gotten it.
obvious. Yeah.
So
Well,
maybe
well,
that's
the thing is,
maybe
like,
that's a
no,
level
but
7 thing. If this was
my
level
roommate
9,
found the
by the
flashlight,
end.
like
That's what I'm
immediately
saying.
after, but yeah.
That's funny.
but I think So I guess we would have gotten it.
We would've
anyways.
gotten it, but it
and
wasn't, like,
same thing
exactly
with. It made me realize because that part where it said cranium, there was a puzzle that we figured out, and it was like a skull. So we thought, oh, the
Cranium,
word
yeah.
must be cranium. It fits. And you kept on saying it might not be cranium. It might
Yeah.
not be cranium.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't cranium, but they
Uh,
figured out we were close
It's
enough.
more or less we like put together a
And we
crossword that
said
gave us
this-
another word.
So yeah, the word it gave us was asperta, which
No,
isn't
it was
aperta,
Aperta, I think.
which isn't really a
Oh, that
word.
sounds kind of like Perth too.
And
I kind of thought it
Were
was
they,
somehow,
like-
some translation of open, because I think like abierto is
Yeah, probably.
open in Spanish.
Yeah.
oh right, maybe.
Something like that.
But like
Yeah,
if
it's very
like
Latin.
if cranium wasn't right, would they have just been like, all right, well they were close enough, I don't know.
Probably because I don't know
Maybe,
how
maybe.
closely they're listening in.
And there was a point where
Probably
we
pretty close.
we had to rearrange these books to get a bookshelf to move,
Yeah.
and we kind of rearranged it, but not really. We just kind of started pushing the bookshelf, and they put a loudspeaker in. And we're like, how are the books arranged?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I didn't
well, you
really
just kind
like
of gave it
that
away.
because,
like,
that's the lax stuff I was
'cause, like-
talking
Oh
about.
wait,
which
so
I
was
didn't love.
so do you think that was them like?
that
I
was
think
like a bonus.
they
hit
I
have
think
for no
they
reason.
couldn't see the books because we were probably
Yeah,
covering
that's
the
what I
camera.
thought. Yeah.
So they were like, where are the books arranged?
So they probably had to hit a switch once you
Because
had them right. Yeah.
The books, if you shone the
Oh,
black
that
light,
makes
sense.
if you shone the black light on the books,
oh.
you could see the order you put them in. So we just got lucky and put them in an order,
Yeah.
which probably wasn't even right.
yeah.
But they couldn't see it.
So, there's
So like that's another where it's like
they saw you.
We didn't get
But
arranging
like
that.
them
that
and-
that was
yeah.
annoying in a way because like I guess it was helpful, but at the same time like when I heard the voice over the loudspeakers, I thought like, oh, we're breaking the rules or something because
Mm-hmm.
I was so into it where I'm not like, oh, we didn't press hint, so like why are you talking to us? Like
I
was
didn't.
thinking
I didn't like how they did that.
I was
Yeah,
like I'm just
that's
want to
fair.
like go for it still.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked out, and I feel like I don't think that would have like changed the outcome too much, to be honest.
Nah.
But
I
No,
don't
no.
think
It. I mean, there's nothing. There's no way to know. I'm just saying like, if we. I feel weird. I don't know. It almost feels like we found loopholes to get out of the room.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think,
but
like,
it was lucky, but it worked out.
definitely. And I don't know. I think, and we kind of said it, but we got out of the room.
Yep,
It ended.
successful.
It ended. We had to. It was kind of fun actually. We all stood around, held hands around
Did have
this
to hold hands.
weird idol, like it's like satanic. looking
Satanic,
thing.
yeah, I was talking
Pentagram.
about
And we
Pentagram
all
on the
and we
Alice's
had to
pentagram.
repeat the thing that we got 3 times. and
phrase,
then
yeah.
We got out basically.
Well, not even.
oh,
I mean,
no,
we
but
didn't
then-
even
then
talk
they
about the
gave
end.
us-
So
yeah.
basically, we say we finally get it. We had 15 minutes left. We're freaking out. I was certainly thinking we weren't going to get it because we were making such good time at the beginning, and then we really slowed down.
Yeah.
We used that last hint. We got the thing. We got the riddle, and we had about 8 minutes left, or no, 10 minutes
It
left.
was like just under 10.
And we hear this thing.
So
We're waiting for the door to open. It's not opening, and then we hear after the phrase over the loudspeakers. It said like the truth will set you
Well,
free.
the other exciting thing was like, so we said the phrase once. You have to say it 3 times, and as we started saying
as we
it,
started saying
these
it,
like
we started
noises
hearing like
are
static,
coming out,
and we're like,
then we start like
"Ooh."
getting pumped. And,
Yeah.
that was
That was
that was
such a fun
that was the spookiest part. I
Yeah,
thought.
that was cool. So we said it, and then we heard the truth will set you free. So
There's a key
so
code.
there's a key code on the door, and we're like, all right, it's got to be truth. So Cedric goes to the door, types in truth, hits a button, doesn't let him out. We're like, that's weird. We're like, what could it be? What could it be?
But he put it in a few times. I think everyone tried.
We tried again, and
at this point, like,
and
we're at least me and one of your roommates were like running around the room.
Yeah,
looking to
we're
see,
like-
because that's
freaking
when we
out. What
found.
else?
That's when we
when
found
our
the
friend
light.
found
'Cause I
the
was- yeah,
flashlight
yeah,
because
just-
we're like, oh, what about this? And then we like shine it on the wall, like,
Yeah.
oh, that
Like,
was that word that we guessed, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was
So-
like looking, I was like, maybe something like dropped out of the sky.
Yeah, like I was
yeah.
freaking out, like how are we not gonna get out now? And then the person goes over the speaker again and goes like, you have the right code, you just need to press the green button. And then like my
I didn't
roommate
like
was
that.
like, I did do that, but okay. We go out and do it again, press the green button, and it
Still
doesn't
doesn't
open
work.
again.
So then we're trying new
and we're
words.
like, all right, and then Cedric tried free, which was wicked funny. It's like, oh, free will set you free, of course. They were like,
That
wait a
is
minute,
And it
is
worked.
that, like, and it worked.
That was another funny thing I think about this escape room was like you really had to like if you had ideas you had to share them.
yeah.
But
Oh,
some
yeah.
of them like
Some of them
I
were wicked
said
dumb,
things
yeah.
that made absolutely
Yeah,
no
like when
sense.
I looked through like a hole in the floor, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
look at that. And
Yeah.
they're like, that is.
and I was like, but I
It's
was
just
like,
like textured wood.
yeah.
but I was just like, yeah, check that out.
yeah.
But
But that was a little frustrating. Where
I
like,
didn't
we
like-
got it right at the end, but they were like, and then she was like, I just opened it for you because
Yeah,
you had the
I
code.
didn't
We're
like
like,
that.
well,
Yeah.
That's
we
why
had
I-
it right though. What?
That's why I
what?
feel like they were too relaxed about our performance. Like
Yeah.
they shouldn't have piped in at all.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
shouldn't have said the thing about the books until we found the flashlight. The light thing, whatever. We got it,
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know, something about it. Like
Yeah.
that green button thing. They should have let us figure out and made sure we were pressing the green button. They shouldn't have said you have to press the green button. It takes you out of the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
I'd say they did a very good job running the things, but I mean, yeah, it could have been.
Some
a
of
little
that's
bit
it was just weird because like I think that it's just tough to.
I think
It's like the
yeah.
general vibe, like right, like they wanted us to succeed.
Yeah,
and to have a good
But-
experience.
And that the normal people probably just want that, and they don't really care
And
if there's
thi-
more hints. But for us, it's like these are the rules, and like we can do this. So
Right.
I think the lessons are being
especially when we have 10 minutes to just type in truth, and
Yeah.
like we certainly would have got it, but I don't
Or
know.
the thing,
it
with,
just-
I think the biggest
and
problem
we
was the
did
thing
get
with the
it.
books, which I didn't even really realize until you're saying it now because I wasn't really involved in it. Like that, we should have figured out on our own. You know,
That
Yeah.
we should have like.
they shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
messed up.
Mhm.
They know we didn't find the.
the flashlight.
Yeah.
So it's
Flashlight.
like that's part of it. Yeah.
I could see them chiming in and be like that's brute force or whatever, like not yet
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
figure it
yeah,
out.
Don't do
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I don't know.
But it was good. It was
Yeah.
good.
Like,
It's
I-
pretty minor.
And I
complaint
think
overall.
maybe because it's level 7, maybe it's an easier version. Maybe like the more hardcore versions are.
Yeah.
We're barely even going to watch you. We're just going to make sure you get these things.
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
say anything. Clue when you need a clue. That's it.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just a little
So
a beginner's
yeah,
version.
I would say like, and then we got some great pictures at the end. Too,
Yeah.
when
Oh,
we
yeah.
got out.
Check the
and, like,
IG.
We'll
you
share
know,
those.
there's like the classic like I'm was stupid or whatever.
Yeah,
the
like
sign- I don't
signs
know
they
the
give you.
signs,
But they all
like,
said like I solved.
yeah, but
this
like
or
I did
whatever.
it. You know, I
Yeah.
had like Queen of Escaping.
I wanted to ask, I didn't, but I wonder what the success rate is at that. What would you say?
I don't maybe 50.
Oh, yeah, I'd say maybe slightly
Yeah,
more
I
than
wonder, 'cause
50 or
Cedric
close.
I
to
do
said he
feel
didn't
like-
get out at the first
Yeah.
time, which
Yeah.
surprises me with how like they were helping us a ton. And he said they had extra clues. That
Yeah,
time.
he said like they were getting a ton of hints
Oh,
that
yeah.
time.
But it
too.
also makes me think like we only had 9 minutes left, but we also had someone who had done it already.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
It would have taken
It
us
would've
a
been
while to
close.
get the thing that you're saying that Cedric did right away on the mirror.
I don't know if it would have taken that long. Like,
but
I-
we don't know.
We don't
That's
know.
the
We
thing.
don't know.
So like
You're
maybe
right,
we
yeah.
wouldn't have gotten out.
Mhm.
That's
Maybe,
the only thing I
maybe.
wish was different. Like
Yeah.
I wish this was a fully authentic. Like no one knows what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, that was
just-
just bad luck. Because
No, yeah, nothing we can.
like,
I'm not blaming anyone.
I told
for it.
Cedric, and then he was like, "All right, yeah, I'm in." And then after I booked, he was like, "Wait, which one?" And I only picked which one based on time, which
Yeah.
was convenient. And then like, it was basically like a double coin flip. Like Cedric had also coincidentally just done that one where like his other group did the Escobar
Yeah.
one. It was just like bad luck. But
Yeah.
also it was
Yeah.
a year and a half ago, so
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't think him being there was made it significantly easier. It definitely helped. But
It definitely
I would honestly say that a bigger impact on us was the
Clues
people
that they gave,
them giving
yeah.
us those
Yeah,
little
yeah.
hints.
So yeah, that was a bit annoying, I guess. Overall, I'd say that like it was nice to see like everyone when we got out, just like let's do it. We
Yeah.
all got dinner after.
There's one thing
which
that-
was
yeah.
unplanned,
It was
just
great.
like a
Barbecue.
victory
We got
dinner.
a great barbecue. Some
Yeah.
good brisket. But I would also say so we walked out and the person, was like, take pictures, and then she's like, just don't like talk about it like right here.
Just
what
don't
you
like
did.
record a podcast about it if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Until she's like, people are walking in, and then we like immediately walked in, and I think we we're standing there for like 10 minutes, like just talking about what we just did, like, and we were all so excited,
Well, afterwards.
right after we finished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was almost like Bodeborg, the same thing. Like
Yeah.
you get out and like all you want to do is
It's
talk
like,
about what you
yeah,
just did.
yeah.
Remember that? Like, oh,
Yeah,
and
it-
wait, how did you do that? Because I didn't really see that.
Right,
And
right.
it's like,
Because
oh,
we had
that's
to
so
like
cool.
reconnect because
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
you were. It was cool how like even though you were a team, like each one of us had like a unique thing
Yeah,
that
we
they,
all
that
did
they
something,
contributed,
yeah. Yeah.
and like you worked. Like that's what Cedric was saying too, is that you have these people that you're with at the beginning, but you just
Yeah.
like seamlessly switch
Yeah.
between groups
Because it's
based
like if
on
we
what
were
you think
if we
your
only
strengths
were
are.
just the three of us, which
Mhm.
could have potentially happened, I think we could have still maybe done it, but it would have just been like we'd be by ourselves doing stuff.
It'd be
and
a
then
lot
we'd have
harder
to like take
just
people
'cause-
away. It would be hard.
Exactly, yeah, because
I have-
like I felt like we had so much benefit when we would work. Teams of 2 was
Yeah,
really good.
just-
Even 3 was
just
good.
to bounce ideas off of.
What if there's an escape room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your team has to split in half.
Ooh.
And you're locked in 2 different rooms.
That'd
That'd be
cool.
great. Be
And then
great.
you have to
Come into the middle.
do
of it.
whatever to get the rooms connected.
Yeah.
And then each room like has information that you learned, so now you have to share. Because this one, like you said,
very
like
fun.
I could probably go into the escape room that we did, do it all by myself theoretically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they say it's a team building thing, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, easily
Right,
one
like-
person could take over and do the whole thing.
Sure.
I think something like that would force you to like,
Work
all right, you
together,
have
yeah.
to work together or you won't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of the Boda
you have
Borge.
to
Boda
communicate.
Borge was a little bit more team oriented where there were
Definitely,
certain
yeah.
things that needed 2 people. Like
Yeah.
one person had to
Yeah,
be doing this
yeah,
while
yeah.
another person was doing this.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one thing I would change.
Mhm.
Is just make it a little more, because people say it's a great team building thing, which
Mhm.
it is obviously,
Mhm.
but make it more like, oh, this is great. Like we had to do this to get out.
I'd say that's funny. Is like I'd say like really my only complaints are like not with us at all.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
every time it was just us, I was having a blast. Even I know Chris, you said that like maybe I would have been more upset if we didn't get out, but like I think I would have been upset, but I wouldn't have put blame on anyone. You know what I mean? I would have been like,
Yeah,
damn, like
Yeah.
I wish we had gotten
yeah,
out.
which is fair.
But like I feel like that when we were together, even if that had occurred, I was still like that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
You were never
That was
like,
good.
oh, you should have done this.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
You did it in Boda Borge.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
And in most of our
Because
houses.
that's what I was worried
That's
about.
not
Because the thing with an escape room is, I was worried that someone was gonna be like getting angry, like
Same.
I can't
'Cause
believe you're not doing this.
the
but,
second that happens, I'm out of it.
it
you know?
gets,
like-
yeah, it gets me
it's
frustrated.
annoying.
Because the thing is, same with Boda Borg and escape rooms, everyone's in the same exact situation.
Mhm.
No
It's
one
like-
has more
It's
information.
like the pizza line. Everyone's there
Yeah.
for the same reason.
Like no one.
Bad.
Yeah, I don't know. That's true. Like
A good joke in podcast is to bring it back to things. I've been trying to do that more.
I just think no one like. Sometimes when you're in these things, or if it's like a game you're playing with someone, like we're in the same exact playing field. So like, in hindsight, yeah, maybe I should have done this
Mhm.
puzzle faster or whatever, but you would have done the same. Everyone would have done the same exact thing. So
Yeah.
one person taking over would be like, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't do that," completely ruins the experience, and it's
Yeah.
unnecessary, and it's just like 100% wrong.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know what I was like in Boda Borg, obviously. But
I blacked out
I
for
think
most of
I
it.
think that in this, like, it's just so it's difficult enough where like there's no way you can put yourself in another person's shoes and be like, oh, if you had you should have done it like this.
and
Like,
especially
I
because
don't
it's
know,
like
it's just
nothing,
we're all trying.
Yeah, I think
so.
it's because we made team decisions. Maybe that's part of it. Is
Yeah.
like Boda Borge, one person could hit a button that would end it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And then
it's
you
easy
and
to
then
blame
it's like,
someone. in
oh,
Boda Borg.
Right, yeah,
okay,
that
because
was
Chris
that,
did
yeah.
this happened. Okay, fair. With this, it's like everyone is making decisions.
that's why it's
together,
better.
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, are you guys ready to get to ratings? Any last thoughts?
Sure.
Yep.
I'll save them for my ratings.
Okay.
Huh?
All right. So for ratings, we rate our hobbies on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, obviously, and a yay or nay on whether we will continue doing the hobby. Chris, you seemed pretty eager a second ago, so what do you think?
Sure. I went into this very, I'd say, kind of skeptical of doing it. I wanted to. Right when Andrew said it, I was like, oh, that'd be a lot of fun. But I was like, I don't know if we'll be able to do an episode on it because we had already done the Boda Borge.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like,
It's very different,
It'll be
I
separate.
think.
I was like, it's probably similar. I don't know.
Wait, before you go, I
Yeah.
want to say the yay or nay is like, I think for me, it's like, would you guys be down to come back this before
Yeah.
I graduate and do this second one, the
Mhm.
9 out of 10?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the yay or nay, I would say. All right.
Gotcha. So I was like, we'll be different. But I think that this was honestly a totally unique experience.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of fun. I think it would be, I don't know, something about this over the Boda Borge. I think as in terms of a team building activity, I
Yeah.
think this is better.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's cool because they're all so unique. It's I
Each
don't know.
like at other places too. You're meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
And even
Um,
the other one in this one is probably totally
Exactly.
different.
Like if we were to go back to this one and do another one,
Mhm.
it would be a different experience. I
Mhm.
don't think you learn many things from one that translate to another.
Yeah.
So you can do it, and it's always exciting.
Mhm.
I don't know. And just after doing this, I got so like into the kind of. I think it's the whole theatrics behind it is
Yeah,
cool.
it's
and
fun.
like I kind of said, I think it'd be like cooler if it was more of that. you know?
It's just like the classic like. At least for me, I feel like I've always had this like sense for adventure, you know.
Yeah.
But like you can't just do that in your regular life.
It's so
like,
unique to
Yeah.
do something like
Yeah.
that, and it's I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Part of me wants to like open an escape room, you know. Like I'm just
Think
like
of
looking around this room now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
like what are those pictures on the wall? Is that
Yeah.
didn't tell me something? So I mean, the fact that I'm thinking about making a career change to a escape room owner
Yeah.
it shows that I'm really into it. I'm not going to give it a perfect score
Mm-hmm.
because guess we talked about a few of the flaws.
Yeah. Small, but
All small.
something.
I'll go 9 out of 10. Yay, though. I think honestly one of the most fun just weekend
And-
hours I've had.
Yeah. And did you think it was good? Like worth the money is what I'm saying. $25.
Yes, and I would even say I'd say for this one, I don't know, maybe 25 was a little high for what we got.
Yeah.
But I would also say that I'd be willing to pay $50 for
like
a
a
very
epic
good
one.
one.
Yeah,
Especially if it was a 3-hour thing.
Yeah.
I would pay $50 for a day of just let's do it.
Yeah, I agree actually.
Yeah.
Wow. Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Because I think Bois de Bourges was similarly priced. I think it
Yeah.
was $20-25.
Wait, before you go, Alex, I just remembered that my brother and I used to play this game. I think it was called The Crimson Room as kids. It was a flash game.
Yeah.
And it was
I think I remember
that's when
that.
I had heard of escape
yeah, I
rooms.
remember the escape room video games.
I knew that, and I was that game was so fun because that was it's untimed, so it's it was insanely hard, and I just remember I mean we were kids too, so maybe it wasn't that hard, but those video games or the flash games, you just have to click around and you'd open drawers and stuff,
It
and
felt
that
like
was
that.
wicked fun as
this
kids,
one felt
so.
just like those games.
So
You're right.
all right, I'm just curious if that was my
didn't think
thought
about that.
going into it, and I was nice, this. Let's see if this feels
And
like
I would
that,
also
and
say
it
just
did.
going back to showing that I like it. I've since I've texted maybe 2 or 3 of my friends just just having little conversations.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
every single one of them I've said, yo, we should do an escape room.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm glad I got Cedric now because
Yeah.
he seems so down to do it. I feel
honestly,
we could always get a
I want
crew.
to I want us to stay in touch with Cedric, and if he because he seems like he's researching New England escape room. So if
Yeah.
he's you want to drive to New Hampshire tomorrow,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
probably
that'd be
do
pretty
it.
fun.
Maybe not
Just-
tomorrow, but in a month. Yeah, why not?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
All right, Alex. What do you think?
Yeah, very enjoyable. I think well worth the price. I actually thought it was gonna be more expensive. So I think
Yeah,
for what
I
we
agree.
got, $25.
I guess the fact that it was a private room too.
That was nice.
We
Private
own that
room,
space for an hour. I guess
like
that's fair.
Like you said about Disney World, the great thing about Disney World is you lose yourself in these
Yeah.
experiences
Yeah.
they build. It did feel like that.
Mhm.
Not the beginning part, but once you got in the room, it's I don't know, the books are worn down. There's I don't know the wood texture.
Right, you
that
you
put-
just felt like you were. You
they-
felt
they
like you
put
were
a-
there.
yeah,
Somewhere.
they put-
you were somewhere else.
they put a
yeah.
lot of effort into the setting when they didn't have to.
Mhm.
It could have been the same.
Yeah.
Could have been a room like this. All the puzzles were there. It would have been the same thing, but
Mhm.
it wouldn't
Mhm.
have been something about that great. I don't know, pretending to be in that world for a second. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Some negatives about I feel like those were just about this one specifically. Maybe not escape rooms as a whole.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I don't know who to blame for that.
Yeah.
Those
It's
dumb-
not very going to be
dumb
perfect.
workers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's no Disney
Maybe.
World.
Like you said, you would pay for a 3-hour one. I don't know if I would want that, to be honest.
Mm.
I
don't know
would.
why.
I'm on Chris's side.
I could see
there.
myself just getting
I think it'd be fun.
mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
Or even the best 1 hour one maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I could see myself paying
Yeah.
more for a better
See, but
one.
that's what I think about the Escobar one. Even though it's the same company, difficulty 7 out of 10. We barely got it. Ooh, what about a 9
know,
out of
yeah.
10?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the problem with the 3-hour one is I picture myself if we got stuck, then what we're
Right.
wasting
That's
3
That's
hours
probably
on
why
a,
they don't exist.
on
or
a thing that we
they're
can't
not
do.
super common.
An hour
yeah.
is enough time that if we just got stuck on one thing for an hour, it would be incredibly frustrating, but it would be just an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you would need more clue. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know how they
yeah.
would structure it. I don't know if I would love that. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. It was cool that we used all our clues too. Looking back on it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is it. All right. Last chance. Oh,
Yeah.
we got it. All right. Yeah.
I think if we did more escape rooms, we would probably look back on this one and say
it was all right.
maybe it was a little easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know. We haven't done any more.
Yeah.
Or any others. Yeah, I thought it was great. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. Yay.
So all right. So you guys are down for
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
think I do want to do this.
I would say
last
I'd like a
one.
little break between it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
Not
this
next
was
weekend.
also well spaced out from
In the
Bois de
spring, in the
Bourges,
spring.
We did that.
Well, that was a year
I
ago.
don't-
almost
yeah.
a year ago,
I don't
which is a
think-
good amount of time. I don't think I could do more than 2 a year, or 3.
2 escape rooms.
maybe 3.
Yeah,
a
I don't think
year.
I would be
I don't want to do 1 a month. Then
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't
I'm
say-
only here for 2 more months, but
I mean, there's other escape rooms, you know what I mean.
yeah, but I want to do that one. You don't want to do
Oh,
Escobar?
I was just gonna say I would do it. I would do another. I would do that one.
Yeah.
But my yay is more I would do another one.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
In the
Fair
near
enough,
future.
fair enough.
Yeah,
I agree. If someone's oh, let's do this one next weekend and then this one.
yeah, but yeah.
I'd be
That's
like,
gonna
I
All right.
can't-
because
I'm
it
not
is kind of
doing that.
expensive.
Yeah. See that?
It's more
I'm
even
gonna
if it was
disagree with you
even
there.
if it was free, it's there's a time commitment. I liked doing it, but
It's such a not a big time commitment though. It's a little.
but it is a
commitment.
time commitment.
Oh, anything is a time commitment.
I know, that's what I mean. So I would
Yeah.
rather spend that time doing something more enjoyable.
All right.
I'm saying yay because I would definitely do
Yeah,
one, but
yeah.
I wouldn't do one like frequently.
Yeah,
probably.
fair enough.
So it's a soft yay, I guess.
Mhm.
All right. So for me, I guess sorry if I was trying to impose my own biases on you guys, but I've definitely really liked it. I think the big thing that it was the big reason it was so good for all of us is none of us really knew what to expect. So we all
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
went in just like,
Mhm.
let's see how this goes, and we're just pleasantly surprised, I would say. Another thing I would say is that it's really about the company that you're with. That made it a lot more fun.
True.
Because we knew each other, because we were able to work together, because we were going to podcast about it. That was
True.
that was fun. There's like a lot going on with that. I had a lot of fun with it. I think that there were a couple things that we've already touched upon that were like, take it or leave it. We prefer without it. But
Definitely.
I felt very accomplished at the end. It was like a good time all around. And like Chris was saying, when we left, we were able to like talk to everyone there and be like, oh, that was cool that you did this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, remember when this. So I loved it. I'm down to do another one. I'm going to go 9 out of 10 yay as well, but a hard yay. Basically, like if anyone told me like, hey, we should do an escape room, like I would probably free up my schedule. Like, tentatively. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
be certainly into the idea if I have at least one good friend. I'm like, let's do it.
Mhm.
Would you want to do it with one other, like a friend, and then the rest are strangers?
I'd be okay with that too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because I feel like I would trust my friend if a friend said like let's do this escape room with like you and then like my other friends, I would trust that like my friends' friends are gonna be into it.
Or would you
Yes.
do it with no friends and just strangers?
I guess
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know
be
if I
super
would-
into it, but I still would think that if it's all
Wow.
strangers, I feel like they'd be down. They
That would
must be really
That would be a
into
very
it,
unique experience if it was like come and it's like we put you with 5 people and you
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I'd certainly be less into that just because like I said, I feel like the company was like a big part
I
of
don't
it.
know
but,
if I would love that.
yeah,
But,
but I still I think I would be pleasantly surprised as well.
right.
So, all right, that's it for escape rooms, I guess. Always love talking to you guys about escape rooms and Boda Borge-esque
Yep.
hobbies.
Hmm.
Let's move on to our next section of the show, which is called What's on Your Mind? That is where we talk about what is on our mind. As always, we get a theme song from the listeners to introduce What's on Your Mind. This one comes from Professor of the OC. All right, thanks, Professor, for that great throwback. But next time, please do some original content. We've already heard that song.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to what's on your mind. Let's see. Alex, seemed like you got something going on over there. We do have a fan submitted what's on your mind.
Mm.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to read this. Great Snapchat we got. Fan submitted what's on your mind. A good what's on your mind.
This is from fan of the show, Dave.
Oh, fan of the show, Dave.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. He didn't write that in his Snapchat, but should have been obvious. A good what's on your mind. When a tear here actually never works, with a picture of a cup.
It looks like salsa.
That is like
right?
one of
Salsa,
those, like-
think of like a salsa or a hummus.
I would think of
with
the
a
hummus
plastic
ones.
kit,
Yeah, like the classic like Sabra hummus things.
Wait,
that-
what?
Yeah.
He sent one other snap. What's it say?
Another one?
Yeah, do you see? It's I got it on my phone.
I
It's,
don't think
it's-
so. I don't see it.
Oh, there. Yeah, it's right there. It says freaking love the
Oh,
pod.
there it is. Yeah.
Freaking love the pod more than this hummus.
Dash Dave. All right, so thanks, Dave, for that. What's on your mind? Let's think about it, guys. I think that this is a classic. Like, it's something you don't, you never. It's one of those things. Like, I would never ever talk to anyone about this, but it's a
Yeah,
perfect
which
what's
is
on
perfect
your
for
mind.
what's
It's
on your
like,
Perfect for the segment.
like
I'd
those
say-
those tear here things. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're really bad.
They're not terrible.
especially those ones.
Yeah, not
They're
terrible.
not.
Oh, they're not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think the people that are
English
doing
language.
the people that are doing it right is the yogurt companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yogurt, that
Easy.
lid,
That's true.
they
yeah.
nailed that.
Mhm.
So it's maybe it's four. that you need.
I eat a good amount of hummus, and I always will just take a fork and puncture the top,
Yep.
and then like use my fingers to like take the thing off, which
Yep,
is I
yep,
shouldn't
which
have
is
to
annoying.
do that.
Even like another product that does well is milk,
Mm.
but they have that
Yeah.
weird like tab that you pull. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It's like a plastic half of the circle is plastic, and you peel it up, and then you peel that.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm saying? Andrew, you
Oh
look
yeah,
lost.
yeah. I think maybe. I don't know.
I don't want to have to do a logic puzzle just to get into my milk. You know?
Oh wait, no, I do know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, it's hard to describe it.
Yeah,
Just like a milk carton of milk.
Gallon of-
not the cardboard one though.
Not the cardboard,
yeah,
the plastic
I know what you
gallon.
mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's got that little plastic under the lid, you get a
Mhm,
plastic lid.
Mhm.
On top of that plastic lid is a connected piece of plastic that
You
you
have to
peel
pull
up,
and
and then
twist.
you
Yes.
yank up.
And that's
You
good.
I got to be doing a dang
You have to
physics at
pull
home
it,
experiment
twist it, bop it,
just
pass
to get
it.
some calcium into my diet.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
you're right. The dips
They
specifically
just don't have it. They don't have it.
are flopping on this.
Yeah.
And even like I feel like
And do we need it? Because what about most salsa that comes in a glass
what's like
jar?
another one? Oh,
Mhm.
maybe
Oh,
like
that-
mouthwash too. I feel like those are bad. They don't have like tear here's, but
is that the push and twist kind of?
Mouthwash.
no, just like how
Like
it always has
squeeze?
like that silver lining, literally, when you open like a Listerine or something.
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
has,
Almost like yogurt, but it's not.
Yeah, those
it's
are hard to
really
get
tough to
onto.
open.
that never works either. Yeah,
Yeah, they
'Cause
just don't. They don't go cleanly.
it's almost like sometimes they don't have a little tab that you're supposed to pull
yeah,
up.
exactly. That's what I mean.
What do
Yeah.
you expect me to do?
Yeah.
Claw at it with my fingernails for 15
Probably,
minutes? That's
probably.
ridiculous. I
Yeah.
think that
It's hard out here.
might, without realizing it, that might affect how I do my shopping. Maybe
Mhm.
that's why I don't love hummus that much.
Wow.
Mm.
Interesting.
You know?
I don't know.
Good question, Dave.
Yeah, good question,
Yeah,
Dave.
Thanks for the email, Dave, or Snapchat.
All right, Alex, what is on your mind?
All right. Here's what's on my mind.
Mm.
So, we're still looking down some beers last night,
Sure.
right? Smashing them on our head, drinking them like that.
Mm-hmm.
Beer bottles, right?
Mm-hmm.
We smashed them on our head.
Yeah, did you-
Specifically
yeah.
glass beer bottles. I wish I had one in here to show. Are there any in here? In our studio?
There is actually. I'm gonna grab it
Let's
real
snag
quick.
that
Just
for
keep
you. Let's
going.
see if this is an example. On the bottom of the glass beer bottle, I'm sure you guys have seen this or felt it even.
Mm-hmm.
There are these dots.
Well, there's one.
Let me see here. Does it have it?
Yeah. It does.
No, it says. Oh, it does have it right here. Chris, you see these?
Yeah.
See these dots here?
Yeah.
You maybe
Yep. I feel him.
if you have a beer bottle.
Ooh.
No,
You're right. You're right.
Secondary, what's on your mind?
It's like a braille here.
I
Is
got
that
a,
Braille?
I got a secondary. What's on your mind? Andrew had an unopened beer in his closet. What's up with that? Dude?
That's kind
It's an old one. It's an old one. Just.
Still,
Well, I was anticipating this.
You're
yeah.
aging it.
I don't think this is Braille because Braille is
Hmm.
high and low dots, different.
Yeah, true.
Right.
You could clearly tell this
You'd say that-
is not
This
Braille.
is on all beer bottles. You think?
This is on. I
I
think
mean, you
it's
knew
on
it would be on this one right away.
Yeah, I
so
think
that
it's
was
on.
interesting.
It's on probably all glass beer bottles.
Yeah.
It's these dots on the. If you look at a beer bottle, it's not on the
It's
bottom.
not on the bottom.
But it's about a millimeter or so, a few
Yeah, actually,
millimeters
yeah.
above from the bottom rim. There are a few dots.
Hmm.
Is it like a? I was gonna think maybe it's a texture thing. Like, okay, this
Yeah.
is easier to hold on to, but
That's
it's
kinda
so
what I was
low
thinking.
that you're
Like
not gonna be
little
holding
turn
down.
there.
It could be just like a way that like an artist signature for the bottles. I'm not sure.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. So it.
Another thing
Dude,
I
I
was
think
thinking
I
is
think it is. You don't think it's Braille?
no,
You
because
don't think it's a
Braille,
Braille ale?
Braille has like dots on top of each other and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
it
That's
could just
all
be the
in,
same letters.
in one line.
This is like this. Maybe it's Morse code. It's like a single dot,
It's not
two
Morse code.
dots side by side,
Morse
and
code
then
has dashes.
a single dot, two dots side by side,
And why would it be
a
Morse
single
code?
dot, a single dot.
I
don't
think
know.
another thing I'm
Anyone who
thinking
can
is
read Braille understands that. Let us know.
another thing I'm thinking is maybe it's something that something could scan to see that this beer is full or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't have a good answer for
But then
it.
at the same time, they have on this one specifically, they have letters and numbers. So if it's gonna
Yeah.
be any code or something, they could have just typed in the letters and numbers and printed that.
It's
out.
probably like I bet this is a Googleable answer, but
Definitely.
it's probably like either like a tradition or just
Mm-hmm.
like something we're overlooking of like why they do this.
I would vote tradition. I think if I was gonna.
It's
say
also
something.
probably more of the ones like you ever seen the thing like I was eating Tic Tacs wrong the whole time, you know,
Yeah,
where you're
yeah.
supposed to like
It's like shut up.
put the. No, I'm not.
You're supposed to like rub those
Yeah.
dots against your
Yeah,
tongue to like
exactly.
scrape
Yeah,
off
it
something
could be
before
like
you
something like
drink
that
the
too. I
Yeah.
don't know. But
Yeah, I
anyway.
don't know.
All right, cool. Chris, what's on your mind?
Here's what's on my mind. We're going for another business edition. You know.
Nice.
Okay.
Every
okay.
now and
Yeah,
then.
I love this on Audio
Every
Hobby.
now and then we'll come up with a little business idea. We'll bring to the Shark Tank essentially. You know.
Mm-hmm.
This villain I think might get me on there. So, we're young kids. We're oftentimes looking at apartments, moving around a lot. We're not like settled into a house.
Yep.
Came up with a pretty good idea. I think it's exciting. One problem that I've had in the past when looking for apartments is just like getting all the information about the place beforehand, and also like because they'll have places that say like, oh, this is a 2-bedroom, and you'll get there and it's actually like a 1-bedroom, or it's 2 bedrooms in a 4-bedroom, or like little things like that. And it's like very hard to be clear, I think, online.
It's like
Yeah.
they're trying to sell you online.
They're trying to sell you, but there are certain things that you might need, and they might not give it to you until you go see it.
Yeah.
And then it's just a pain for everyone because it's, I don't know, it's wasting the realtor's time, it's wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
So insert my app. Doesn't have a name yet. I'm open to suggestions. Think Tinder, but for apartments, and you're communicating between us, if we're looking at an apartment, are swiping places, right?
That are listed by
your
realtors.
profile has your like what you want in a place, your
Sure.
your needs, like your must-haves,
Yeah.
and then
I'm sure this exists.
I think if you go on like Zillow,
Yeah.
you could
No,
type
but
in like
even in Zillow, I think when I've gone on Zillow, I've had problems where it's like, oh, it says it's a 1-bedroom, but it's not.
But what I'm saying is, I think if we did this app, the same stuff would happen
On your
On
app
your
as
app.
well.
because I think what's happening is that like for example, my first apartment,
Mhm.
they were like, oh, it's a 4-bedroom,
yeah.
so come on in. But it was like basically a 1-bedroom, one big room that there was like a dividing door that you could
Mhm.
close, and one essentially a closet.
Hmm.
So they were going to say 4 bedrooms no matter what. They only
Yeah.
said that because they want people that need 4 bedrooms
Yeah,
to come in
that's true.
and try to. That's how they sell it.
That's fair.
So I think that's like a technique to get
Mm.
people to come in
Yeah,
and look at it.
because I kind of thought like having the actual like realtor interaction, because I've also had situations where like I've messaged someone a question, I've gotten like a stock answer back, like
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, is this place have a dishwasher? And they're like, when are you available to view?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think having a little like chat back and forth where it's like not an email either, so it's less formal. It's just like, can this happen? Can this happen? I don't know. It might still have problems.
Definitely needs.
There are still some kinks.
There definitely needs to be some change in the realtor industry
Yeah.
where they stop. I don't
Be a
know,
little
at
less
least
slimy, you know?
get the information clear. Realtors are always kind of slimy.
Yeah. They're like,
Right?
so we're gonna sign today. Where's
Classic.
your checkbook?
Is it
Like,
just because we are getting like, post grad apartments? Like
yeah,
we're not
they're
we're
cheap
not buying
and they're not
houses
making
and
much
stuff?
money on it, so they're probably just want to get
They
it
just
over
wanna
with.
sell.
Well, yeah, it's
I
just
don't know.
the like they. Isn't that like a commission-based job? kind
Yeah,
of?
exactly.
So, they
Yeah.
just want to. They're looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
Nothing
No, but
wrong with
you
that.
think it would make them look bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the status of
Mm.
realtors, maybe.
All right, well, we'll figure out a name for that, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can work on it.
Hmm.
All right, here's what's on my mind, guys. Mine's kind of like a two-parter, but here I go. So,
Choose one.
road rage, okay?
Jeez.
I'd say it's kind of funny how like that is like a thing. Maybe I won't pretend I'm like a mild-mannered guy, but if someone wrongs me on the road, I don't try to be a jerk or like chase them down.
Yeah.
But I do get like insanely mad,
Yeah.
like more so than many other things. And I don't know. Yeah, like I'm not going to pretend that in my regular life I don't wear my heart on my sleeve sometimes, but with road rage especially. So here's my example today. And the two-parter is that I still feel like I am young enough to like for it to be okay to be upset about it and like all right, let me just explain what I'm getting at. So yesterday, no, 2 days ago or something, I'm driving. I'm going 40 in a 40, okay? The speed limit.
Nice.
Maybe a little under, but certainly not that much under. And I get passed on a double yellow by some lady. So I was mad, but instead of giving the middle finger, I decided to turn as she was passing me and wave to her like, "Hello, what are you
Yeah.
doing?"
Yeah.
Because I was upset. Like I was
like
saying,
that.
I get very angry. And so we're driving. She's one car ahead of me for another 2 minutes. We get to a stop sign. 2 minutes later, she's still just one car ahead of me. There was no point in doing that. So I'm kind of in my front view mirror going like what are you doing? Kind of like putting my hands out like, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she waves to me in the mirror. And I was like so mad. I was like, what are you doing? Like you passed me to like get one spot ahead of me. I'm insanely mad. I'm acting kind of childish. But you're like 45 years old. What are you doing trying to like start
I
something
don't think the age
with me? That's
Yeah.
that's why I was upset.
I'd say age doesn't play.
Okay, so if you don't think age plays
you're an
into it,
adult,
that's the
and
second
I don't
part.
think like a child.
But that's what I was saying. I
would
felt
wanna
like I
start
am an adult,
something
but
with
I
that.
still feel like
Well,
I'm
I
like
think you
young
guys are-
enough to be like to do that stuff.
No, but I don't.
I think
think like
okay,
if
but
you
yeah,
were 16, you'd be prone to do that to an older person just because you're young. I think it's just a personality.
You're
Okay,
saying
so
it's,
then
it's
that's
ex-
fine.
Are you saying it's excusable because you're young, or you did it?
That's
'cause
what
you're young?
I'm trying to get at. But I'm more inquiring, not like I
Yeah.
don't think.
I'd
that's
say
okay.
I'd say it's excusable just in general. It's like I don't think there's anything wrong with like what you did. It'd be one thing if you were
Yeah.
honking at her like aggressively.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna
Yeah.
do anything more than that.
Like-
I honestly didn't even intend for her to see me. It was more of just like, what are you doing?
But I don't
Like,
think there's anything wrong with her waving back because you were like,
No,
you
I
were trying to.
I
Kind of
agree, but like
you were trying to get a response from her. If you waved
I
to
gue-
her
I
and
guess
then were
that's
doing that
true.
thing with
Yeah.
your arms, like
but like what was she doing? Like
Yeah.
why do people do that stuff? And And
I think
also,
you-
like, do you get like as mad as I did? Because I'm even mad right now thinking about it.
Because I'd say my gut and my just personality, and it probably comes through in other things I do, is I don't get really road
Yeah,
ragey,
yeah.
but I get very like if someone did something like that, I would just kind of like shake my
Yeah, you
head.
would do that,
You know,
yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah.
what the?
But I think I would be shaking my head more at you
Why?
because at the stop sign stuff, I feel like you were more at fault. The passing thing, she was at fault.
Mhm.
But if you waved to her and then were like egging her on at the stop sign,
Yeah, that's fine.
I think it's like it's not a big deal. All you did was wave.
Yeah.
But like I don't think you can be mad at her anymore after she passed you.
So you think it's like an equal thing at that point? I'm okay.
No,
I'm okay
I
with
guess
that.
like
I'm
both
okay
of you.
with
were
Because I'd
being
say I have
that. I
ridiculous.
think she is certainly worse.
I have
for
this
passing me
one
for no
memory
reason,
where
but-
I was going down a road and another car was coming down the road. It was a one-way situation,
Mhm.
and they were in the wrong.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could have like honked my horn and been mad and probably been in the right because it
Yeah.
was like making it a pain. But instead, I just kind of like gave him a look like, "What's up?" And
Yeah.
the woman literally put her head out the window and was like, "My bad." Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny 'cause
and I think if I had honked, she would have probably felt like totally.
Yeah, no,
fucked.
but I try to be like sympathetic in situations like that too. I'm not trying to like,
Yeah.
See, I would have
this person's inconveniencing me. Like it was just a clear,
I would have honked
dick
at
move.
that girl, that woman who passed you.
Mhm.
bro.
Yeah,
I think.
I didn't.
Do you guys
that.
honk? You seem to be like.
I don't like to
easygoing with
honk,
that.
to be honest.
I think if that person like that's illegal that she passed you.
Yeah,
And that,
yeah.
if she's going the wrong
Yeah.
way in the road, like
Maybe yeah.
she has to know that.
That's true,
I don't
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
excusable.
that's
Yeah.
funny.
The
I'd say,
passing
yeah.
is wrong.
I'd say if she
That
tried
was
in the one-way
dangerous.
situation, if she tried to get me to turn around, like no, you
like
know what
I honk more, not as a mad thing,
Yeah,
but as a
me
like
too.
you're being stupid.
Like,
and like you should know this.
There's this red
because
light.
it's
that-
not like
yeah.
that's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing.
There's this situation every day when I'm driving to work. It's like a red light that you can go right on, and
Mhm.
the only turn is right. So it's more or less a stop sign.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that, so I don't get angry when people stop, but I do.
Wait,
honk.
why is there a light?
It's kind of like I don't know. It's weird. It's
But
like
you have to stop at a red light.
you stop, but then you can go.
Wait.
Oh, if they don't turn
what you're
right.
saying does not make any
It's-
sense.
I mean, you
There's-
have to
There's no
explain.
need for a red light.
There is though, because it's like certain times where you can just go, certain times it needs to be a stop sign, you know, or like a stop because there's a.
But you said there's only one turn. How like?
you go right, but there's a it's like a merging lane.
So explain
It
this.
It makes
Jeez.
sense. Okay, let's get into details. Basically, if it's green, you go straight. If it's red, it's because there's another lane that's merging in, and they're going fast. It's like near a highway, so it's like.
But
Yeah,
if you can go straight, then maybe people are going straight, so that's why they don't turn right.
No, it's hard to.
So
I'm
what
not.
are you saying you're upset
it's
at?
impossible to explain to you
All
guys.
right,
but
whatever.
you can always go once you stop, but not everyone knows that
Because you
it's
can go right on red.
Because listen,
right?
I'm explaining it right now. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
But if you, so I will give a little like do you know like a quick honk.
Yeah,
Because there's
yeah.
a sign that says that, so they'll just look up and get it, and they always do.
Yeah, I don't mind if I'm like,
Yeah, like right
sometimes
turn
I'm
after
like
stop.
zoning out or changing
Yeah,
music, and,
yeah.
and I'll be a little late
Exactly,
on a green
and
light.
that's fine.
I don't mind getting honked at for that.
I don't
Like,
think that's
sorry.
road rage. Yeah,
But-
I think that's just like.
I get mad though to the question like when someone's doing something stupid. Like a lot of times if I'm by myself, like I'll be like listening to a podcast or music, and I'm like very clearly happy. And then it's like an instantaneous switch. Like
That's what I'm
what
saying.
are you doing?
It's so weird.
And
like,
then
for
it's
me especially.
a second
as well.
later, it's back.
I'm-
It's like that's the only time that emotion comes out of me.
Yeah.
Only in the car.
Well, that's kind of like what I'm getting at. For me with this lady, it was more that like I was just like so mad because like she didn't like it was pointless
Yeah.
to pass me as well. Like not only was I going the speed limit, but she didn't gain anything
Yeah.
from passing me. So that's why I was like kind of egging her on at the end.
I
don't
don't like
know.
the egging on. That's the only part I don't like.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because like you don't know what people are gonna do.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
she could have been a lunatic.
Yeah, well, I don't like that's also what I'm trying to get at. It's like I don't if I was to think rationally, I clearly wouldn't have done
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
more that like I get so upset for whatever
You
reason.
know, it's weird.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's it for what's on your mind, guys. You guys ready? I hope our listeners made it out of their rooms. Sorry we ran a little long, so we
Yeah.
didn't really tell you how to get out. But
Yeah, just
next time.
there's a key under the chair. You
yeah,
know?
the truth will set you free.
All right, Chris, hit us with those
Here's
plugs.
the plug. So, if you like this episode, want to hear more, I need a hobbypod.com. You can find us there. You can find us on iTunes, Snapchat, Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Twitter. I need a hobbypod, and please, please, please leave a review. And
iTunes
rate
review,
us
baby.
5 stars or
Yes.
so. Give or take a star,
Or whatever you think.
plus or minus a star.
Hit the podcast
Plus
app.
6 stars.
Search us. I need a hobby. That's it. Click the logo. You're gonna see all these episodes. You can listen to them. Listen
There's
to them
80
again.
something. Jesus.
Then you hit review. You read a few reviews. You realize
If
that's
you
it.
if you've listened to all the episodes and you just can't make up your mind, guess what? listen to the whole thing again. The discography.
Try it again. Try it again.
If you spent literally 3 to 4 days listening to our voices total amassed over that, you should have an opinion.
Yeah. Hey, we'll write some reviews to you guys. Like,
sure. If you need a review for your small business,
straight up.
I'll
support your local podcast. That's right.
Sure.
And your local podcast will support you.
See you next week.